I'm a real player. You can put me on the roster. All about my G's, I ain't worried about the pasta. Baby, 9 hooks, ain't the mind on the roster. They a hater up, might as well knock it down. Fire like a chopper, burn like a better. Screens in the rain, predicting like the weather. Third rim of cup, can't go without my medicine. Flow so fresh, like a big bag of pepper. Where is my letter? All these on suckers. You know the money talk, you can ask Chris Tucker. I'm a country boy.
All right, welcome to Side Action, episode 16 of season 8. My name is Jim Weglars, aka Wegs. You can follow me at Wegspool on X and on Instagram.
And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper and on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Podcast. Follow us on all the social medias and wherever you get your podcasts. Have we reached out to Buddy Guy Pal to get him on the Side Action to talk about his theme song?
Thinking about that. Probably doing that first of the year. It's a little slower for us. Not as much college football, so we got a nice segment for him. But yeah, I do want to reach out to him. He's obviously done a great job for us to open this thing. It gets me going every time. TMG,
we got to ask him maybe his favorite sports moment. We can add it to the intro.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'm pretty sure he's a Houston guy, so I was like hoping Houston. They're kind of surging back. Hopefully they come all the way back and get the playoffs and we get them on for that. But, we'll see what happens.
Did you see their Man of the Year, their Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee?
I did not.
No, it was out. What is his name? It's number 0. It's the guy with the really hard name to pronounce. That's got
it's like I always want to say Al Shazir, but it's like Al Shahir.
Yeah, and he's got like over what I think his career or like fines is like over $75,000 for illegal hits and use of helmets and everything. It was just Twitter was having a field day with that today. I don't know if you saw that.
He does stuff off the field that counteracts that.
Apparently.
So what are you do? So wow, we haven't talked in a while because of Thanksgiving. So how was it? How was you had big festivities over a couple of weeks?
Allow us to be the last to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
No,
it
was good.
Thanksgiving today? No.
I think Canadian Thanksgiving happens in October. I think they do theirs before we do ours. Because I think it's on a Monday, or it was on a Monday. I can't remember because they had hockey on that day. Anyway, no, Thanksgiving was good. Did the trip to Ohio in a day, which was good. Got to see the Cooper side of the family came back. Did the Martell side of the family on Friday? Yeah. So we watched we watched the Bears beat the Eagles. That was a great game. We met you Friday night. That went okay. It could have gone better. It could have gone worse. So that's good. We walked out with like $150.
Well, that's winning. I mean, you guys, you only bought in for $100 $200 or something.
Yeah, I think it was 200. Yeah.
I mean, it's $20 table. It's so hard to last that long like that. You guys lasted. You actually won money. So
we played for probably 2 hours, 2.5 hours, I think, give or take.
I went there with friend Aisha, and we were there at like 8. And of course, you're like texting me, "Are you going to Circa?" I'm like, "Circa."
Yeah, I was doing too many things at once.
and then it was like, "Yeah, we're going there." I thought you guys were going to go there imminently. You guys showed up like 10 something. We had been there for 2 hours. Somehow we were just kind of like edging around, and it was her first time I was teaching her, and it was hilarious because she like basically bumped me off the table. She's like, "I'm rolling," and I'm like, "Okay." Like
there it is.
it was like I'm trying to make the bets for her, and then she's like rolling, and then before you know it, I'm like, okay, I guess you're keeping the money. How does this work? Like, I mean, it was okay. It was fun.
And then we had snow. Then we all got snowed in, and that was interesting. Yeah, we got like a foot of snow here in Chicago. So crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely colder than it normally is, and also like the last few years we haven't gotten that kind of snow. This is like, big adjustment, real winter.
It's La Nina. Yeah, I think La Nina is happening.
Did you get some pins or what? Did we go Tuesday?
Tuesday night we did. Yeah, we took 5 out of 7, which was good. I didn't do anything crazy. Yeah, I think I had like 650, give or take, something like that. Yeah, I think I went like 220, 220, or something like that. It wasn't anything crazy. And then here we are Thursday, or I guess Friday. Here we are in the flesh.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, obviously Friday. So like for my Thanksgiving, it was pretty low key.
Yeah, tell us about it.
It was very low key at home. My friend cooked for me, not a turkey, chicken, but we had a good time. Of course, I used the entire weekend to polish off the rest of pecan pie, like 2 pieces a day. So I'm like 800 pounds right now.
Nice.
Delicious. We talked about Rivers because I had gone before the game. I thought like, oh, I'm just going to do a quick, let's do a quick sesh before the game. And I kind of got delayed, ended up going. Did okay.
Did you Uber there?
What's that?
Are you Ubering there?
Oh yeah. Uber. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's an extra $50 to $50 to $80 a trip. That's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, every now and then somebody drives me, but
Right.
So went out there, actually saw buddy Joe from volleyball, Kaselik. He's a big craps guy. I haven't seen him there a couple times. Then I went to Four Shadows. Aisha, we watched the game. She was the only one rooting for the Eagles, by the way. I'm like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
She's like, what are you doing for the game? I'm like, I don't know, watching it at home. And she's like, do you want to watch it somewhere? I'm like, sure, we can watch it, Four Shadows. So then we go there, and I didn't realize she was going to root for the Eagles. I'm like, you're the only person rooting for the Eagles in this goddamn place. And I mean, It's kind of good that the Bears won because it had been too many things, barely got them alive. I'm sure it was the alcohol talk, just like because I was like, I guess I'll go back to Rivers. I still got some money in my pocket. I didn't get to the full session. I'll go with you. Okay. Next thing you know, I'm there till I think we left it. We were there like 4 hours. I mean, it was like almost midnight.
Yeah. What was the difference between tables, by the way? Like when you went there in the afternoon, was it $10 tables, and then by the time we got there, it was $25?
It wasn't 10 that Black Friday. They were killing it. It was $15 at noon. Yeah. And obviously it was 25. We got there at 8-ish, and I think by 8:30 they pushed them all to 25. So it was 15 when we first got back. It's fine. It is what it is. You just got to get lucky and be conservative. You were conservative. Brandon was conservative. She was super conservative. But anyway, so that was that. I didn't leave the house for like 36 hours with all that snow. Flew out Tuesday to Philly. It's always just kind of this bender. It's like 3-day bender. We had happy hour Tuesday. We had a team dinner with the Chicago people, extended on Tuesday night. Not too late, though. I kind of paced it. Wednesday, all day. We were actually at the Flyers Arena the whole day. We did our meeting there. We did our development meeting in some of the rooms. We got a tour of the facility. And it's pretty cool. Like, I mean, I've been to UC, United Center several times, but not to that level where you're kind of like trying all the club levels and stuff. They had a club box for us. Didn't get to meet Gritty. I was really excited about Gritty.
Yeah.
I wanted to ride the Zamboni or meet Gritty. I got 0 for 2.
Damn.
Exactly. But they
didn't even come to your box, eh?
No, he has his little chaos center. They call it like chaos corner or something. But he was around some of he doesn't come up in the box. We were like fancy people, I guess. But yeah, they scored. This is on on your other podcast, dude. They scored 3 goals in a minute, like 10 seconds. Obviously power plays, and then
that Zegras shot was crazy. How it hit him in the skate and went all the way into the goal.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was a good game. We left after the second period. They were up 5-2. We're like, let's go out, and then nobody went out. It's like, okay, I guess I'll get a drink. My favorite place by myself. Get a cocktail, and then yesterday was the power party, and it's like I just slept as long as possible. Like tried to get some nourishment and hydration. Then I rolled at a party right at noon. We're all dressed up nice, super nice place. It's an old power plant that has been converted into this wedding venue and hotel, and it's super nice. So it's like high ceilings, concrete, whatever, but cool space. The main party and after party were kind of in the same. They have a separate room, but it was all kind of flowing. So I was in that one space for a long time. Band was a little disappointed. They were a good band, but they weren't playing. I'm here to dance, baby. So I took over at one point. They weren't playing, and they were playing like a playlist. And I'm like, these songs suck. So I went up there and I saw Cardi B, I Like It Like That, and I changed it on their laptop, and I got yelled at by the band. They're like, you're not supposed to touch that. Like, you should have told us. I'm like, yeah, they're playing shitty songs. And I get out and bust the move. And then they kind of
you took over
line dances to get the people dancing. And then a typical me, like we went back, I got a drink at the hotel, but then I met the other people out for more. And I was like, hey man, let's go to Rivers. So I went to Rivers at like 11 o'clock. It was 11:30. It was late. And I'm like, okay, simple. $300 buy-in, $15 table. And I did what I was telling you in the text.
Yeah.
Notice what that guy at the end, that Asian dude that was really good, the one good thrower, I did what he did. Like if, what I did was, 6, 8, 5 or whatever, but then I did a hard 6, 8 for $5. And then when it hit, I parlayed it. I never parlayed before.
Does that mean it has to be the very next roll, by the way, when you parlay?
No, all it means is you're just rebetting. So
it's basically like pressing. You're basically pressing your. Okay, gotcha.
A full press. I basically $5 on a 6, 8 pays $45, right? In terms of which is great, 9 to 1. Instead of taking any of that, I put it all back on the number again, like on the hard 6 or hard 8. Right. So now it's $50 on there. A couple of quarters, and then if he hits, it's $450 bucks. And so I did it when I was rolling. I did hit a hard 6. I think I just collected that time, but then the next guy was pretty good, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I'm like, I'm like basically break even after my roll because I was like, I had a decent roll, hit the smalls, and I'm like, okay, let's see what happens. Dude hit it. He hit it. He hit a hard 6 twice. He hit a hard 8 twice without wiping it. And he hit a hard 4. So I probably should have won more because I started betting for the dealers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, basically when it all said and done, it was $1,300. So I bought him for won $1,000. And then I gave them $100. Actually, I gave the shooter $100 tip. That's good juju.
Yeah, good karma.
But dude, man, I mean, it's like, it only cost me a nickel basically, right? It cost me $5. And gave it a shot. And obviously you can wipe that and it kind of feels bad, but he did start wiping it later. So it was like, just a quarter or whatever, was losing it. But at that point, your house money, baby. So yeah, went to bed, got on the plane, got here like 2 hours ago. Here we go.
Hell yeah. Never wrong with a grand. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Can't go wrong with that, right? All right. Well, let's go into the shed. Plenty of people to put in there this week. I'll let you go first. Who are we putting in there? And it looks like you got a lengthy list.
Yeah, I'm going with the first one up for bid is the CFP committee, the College Football Playoff Committee. It's just a mess. We'll get into it in a little bit here, but it makes no sense. Every time that the chairman comes out, the AD for Arkansas, I cannot remember his name off the top of my head. Every time he comes out, though, it's like open mouth, insert foot, or they backtrack from like a decision that they've made 2 weeks ago. Or it's just a shit show. It is just a giant shit show. It needs to go. It needs to be done. It's over with. The fact that Miami is still not ranked ahead of Notre Dame is just, it's ridiculous. In the shed. It makes no sense. Second one up is Chris Paul. Chris Paul is in the shed. I don't know if you knew, he got released by the Clippers, I believe, on Wednesday. That was announced. And then the Clippers basically got kicked off the team. I guess like the way he was going about, being a player was not vibing well with the coaches. A lot of drama going on. Just wasn't a lot of good things happening between the two. And then the Clippers go out and play their best game of the season that same night that they kicked him off the team. So just to add insult to injury.
Toxic, right?
Yeah. So just not a good look for Chris Paul. So he's in the shed. And then actually news broke on this today. I wanted to put Penn State football in the shed. Obviously, National Signing Day opened the other day. I believe that was Wednesday as well. Their recruiting class was ranked 150th in the nation. I believe it was 151st. It was right behind South Dakota State. But as of a couple hours ago, breaking news, Matt Campbell is expected to sign with Penn State to be their new coach. So
Iowa State guy.
Going from Iowa State to Penn State. That is the rumor. I think Yahoo Sports had it first, but I think that's what I was reading at work earlier. And but still, Penn State, when you have the 150th ranked recruiting class in the country, no thanks. No, you're in trouble. You don't have a coach yet in the shed. They've had somebody. They were the first ones, Wegsy. They were the first team to be out shopping for a coach, and they still haven't gotten theirs yet.
So why do you think that is? It's just because they're not wanting to pay, or what was the reasoning?
I think the people that they wanted were not aligning correctly. So I think at first they wanted Signetti, And then Cignetti turns around and signs with Indiana.
Sure.
Then they wanted the BYU coach.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you knew this or not. The Crumble Cookie guy, whoever is in charge of Crumble Cookie, is a BYU alum. So he came in and offered a bunch of NIL money so that BYU could keep their current coach. And Penn State's kind of been on the outside looking in ever since. And that's when they've kind of arrived at Matt Campbell, which I don't know why they didn't go to Matt Campbell sooner. I mean, he's had previous he's had interviews with NFL teams. I think he's interviewed with like the Colts, the Lions, and a couple other teams here and there. Obviously hadn't gotten any jobs, but the fact that he's on the radar should tell you that he's at least worth talking to. So it'll be interesting.
Buyout. He probably has a decent buyout or something. I mean,
that's not the Penn State.
The bigger question, and this gets into my guy too, is that, and I get it, you want a signing day was last week, or this past week, or whatever you said it was. It's like maybe they need to realign this stuff. Like
100%.
I mean, it's a mess.
Yeah.
And that's my guy's Lane Kiffin, because now granted, I think he's a dick, but the bottom line is like, Ole Miss wants to get rid of him, like, so he, you know what I mean? You want a clean slate so you can get your guys in, to get a coach to get in. And then obviously he wants to be there to help LSU get their guys in. But it's just weird. Why don't they do National Signing Day in like 2 weeks, or I don't know, whenever they figure things out?
It's tied to the semesters at school. That's why it's such a shit show. It's not. It's got nothing to do with the sport. It's got everything to do with the academic calendar. So that's where the challenge is really lying, and it needs to be rearranged somehow. Which I don't know if they'll ever get to be able to do that because it's tied to school and not football. But
so because I don't think this happens in basketball, does it? Maybe it does. I don't know. It doesn't seem to happen in the basketball ranks.
No, probably not as frequently.
So good choices. And like I said, I have Kiffin. The biggest thing with Kiffin is everybody knew he was going. They already had reports that he already bought a house. His kids are already in, at LSU. Like, why even try to do this dog and pony show? Oh, I'm going to talk to these guys, not talk to these guys. The players don't want him around anymore. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, estranged, like, get the hell out. I mean, let's face it. I've had a little experience with this. You break up with the wife, they're not going to let you stick around. You know what I'm saying? You got to get lost quick because they don't want to see your face. It's just how it works. So, but it's just weird. You think he was trying to negotiate the 11th hour to try to get more money out of Ole Miss or something to stay? I mean, it seemed like he was already gone.
No, I think he wanted to try to coach the team and see if he could. Yeah. But at the same point in time, if he thought he could stay and coach them to a national championship, why wouldn't he just sign the extension?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think this is more of a don't hate the player, hate the game situation.
Yeah.
Even though everybody, I'm sure Ole Miss knew getting into the Lane Kiffin business, you kind of know how it's going to end. There's been a track record.
It's not go well.
Yeah, I was going to say there's a track record that follows this man, even though he's a great coach. But yeah, and I'm under the impression, and I don't know if this has been confirmed yet or not, but it was at least 10 days leading up to his quote unquote decision date that Ole Miss knew that he was leaving.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like all this like, ooh, Kiffin watch. I'm like, everybody knows he's gone. But we don't want to go to too bit of detail. You got to get to a game and stuff. But is he a good coach, though? This is like, are we sure?
100%.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a top 5 coach in the sport right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's because of recruiting or actual coaching?
Both.
Okay.
I would say both. And he's the funny thing is
he has definitely flamed out at other places, my man. I mean, Tennessee, obviously the Raiders, USC. You think he's actually? He obviously got the reclamation project under Saban. That's always saves everybody's career. But you think now he's got it because the FAU adhered to now that. Okay.
Yeah, I think LSU. The expectation is for him to win a national championship within 4 years, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy too when Ole Miss's season is over. If they lose in the first round of the playoff, like how many of the players are going to go? Because he was already taking coaches. That's basically as he was leaving. He's like, all right, well, who's going to LSU with me? Coaches and stuff like that.
I know.
So it's just a very interesting scenario that has occurred.
Right. All right, last person in the shed, I've got Max Brosmer. I feel bad to put this guy in, but it's one of those situations. He had potentially the worst NFL first start ever, and he was in a bad spot. He's playing at Seattle. But, dude, 126 yards, no touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and one of the worst passes in recent memory. He just kind of like,
He went full Levis. Yeah.
Full Levis. 2 of 10 on third down. So Brosmer, sorry, buddy. Maybe get in the shed. Maybe get, somehow you're favored. We'll talk about that later if JJ McCarthy's playing, because I don't understand what happened in that game. We'll talk about that for later on.
Yeah, tough to say.
Club Dub, I'll first start. Sorry, I get to do it because my squad, the Bears, baby. The Bears, number one seed.
Squad. You didn't even believe in them.
Well, look, man, we talked about the sadness that was. Did we talk about that yet? I guess we haven't.
No, we haven't.
The sadness that is Al and Art's season. We're gonna pour it out for him here. Tough situation, but hey, they picked the Eagles, which everybody picked the favorites as they should, I guess, but went from 900 to 49 in 2 days.
Oh my God, is that the final number, 49?
Oh yeah, 450 people got knocked out on the Eagles right there. Boop, boop. 450 gone. And so it was like, or maybe it was 500. It was so many people. It was 550. So it was a tough one. And I told him to hedge. Oh God. But either way, the happiness is the Bears get to enjoy the Art Murphy Lounge in Club Dub. I mean, obviously they ran for 281 yards and they just were incredible. They held Philly to 87 yards rushing, which is awesome. And they stripped the tush push. So screw the tush push. So yeah, Bears, welcome to Club Dub.
Nice. Yeah, great win. But yeah, Linnea is officially into the Bears now. She is like full Bears fan. Like, don't get in the way of the television. The game's on. I gotta watch. It's really funny.
Wow, number one seed will do that to you. And then North Texas Mean Green. First of all, I love this nickname. I've always loved this nickname. But yeah, they won 6 straight games now. They're 11-1. They have the number one offense in college football, 503.3 yards per game. They're on the verge of a playoff berth that they can win against Tulane. So unbelievable. And that coach probably – did he already accept another job?
No, not that I'm aware of.
I can't imagine he's going to stay too long after this kind of stuff, but that coach has definitely made some stuff happen.
Yeah, that's a fun offense. I think there was a couple weeks ago where I can't remember who it was. They were talking about somebody bet the over in that game, and it was or their team total. Their team total was like somewhere like in the high 30s. It was like 38.5, and like through 2 quarters they had like 7 points. The next thing they knew, they rattled off like 42 straight points and destroyed their over and everything. So it was just a lot of offense to be had up there in North Texas.
Apparently so.
Yeah, the Mean Green, the mean end zone. So for me, for Club Dub, I have Jahmyr Gibbs. Obviously, the Lions won last night, which we'll get into here in just a second. He had 3 touchdowns. But in that 3-touchdown performance, he tied Barry Sanders for the most touchdowns in NFL history before turning 24 years old with 47. This dude is crazy. This dude is unbelievable. Jahmyr Gibbs probably the best running back in football. I know there's probably a lot of other people that will argue some other people, but if you take age and situation into accountability, I think he's right there. And then my guy, Joe Burrow, he's back. Joe Cool, if you will.
Cool.
He returned. He returned Thursday night, and I got to catch most of this game. I listened to like half of it on the radio and then half of it on the TV because we got back in time for the second half. But 2 touchdowns in his return keeps the Bengals season alive. They looked like the best team in the AFC North for a week, basically last week, if you take into account everybody else. And we'll see. They got a huge, huge game this weekend at Buffalo, and I'm sure we'll get to that too. But yeah, Joe Burrow for right now in Club Dub. He's just a guy, man. He is just so good. He's good at protection. He's good at throwing the ball. He's just good.
The team played inspired football with him there.
Yeah, it makes such a difference.
They loved Flacco. I mean, Flacco did what he could do, but they just felt energized, right? They played hard. And how about him when he was counting down the play clock? Okay, we got 5, 4, 3. Don't worry. He's just like, okay, let's go.
That stadium was so empty. Pouring out. Like 10 minutes left, it was like empty. There was like nobody there.
And we'll get into this later, but it's like the Ravens and Eagles, like their fan bases can really flip on them. You know what I mean?
They're still booing in Philadelphia. Did you hear it while you were there? You had to be hearing boos while you were there.
They do sing the Eagles fight song at every holiday party, which they did yesterday. But I wanted to say the CEO was like, "Oh, I lost a bet with somebody from Dallas." I'm like, because a couple weeks ago they lost to Dallas. I'm like, "What about the Bears?" But yeah, I was trying to be, sympathetic because I watch all football, but yeah, they're very salty. They think they could lose out, but I think they're taking it extreme. So
we'll see. We'll see.
All right, college football recap. Here we go. We've got week 14. It's the end of the regular season, and we'll go over these games quickly. Georgia won. Maybe they're taking a week off, but they beat the Yellow Jackets 16-9. It wasn't their best performance, but they do knock out the Georgia Tech officially from playoff contention. Longhorns, hook 'em horns. They did beat the Aggies. I mean, they did what we talked about. They needed to do it, and now they're making the stink. They're like, if we didn't schedule Ohio State, we'd be in. You guys still win their game. So we'll see what happens. Do you think they could? Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Then we got the Buckeyes. Finally went to the big house. The game was close early, and it could have been like whatever, 10, 14, nothing. Like, they settled for a field goal right on the interception.
Twice. Yeah.
And that just doomed them, right?
Yeah.
And then obviously they finally kind of did what they needed to do. They tested the team, threw the ball deep, and it was working. So they won 27-9 now.
Yeah, defense is really good, but we knew that already.
Canes, they did what they needed to do against Pitt. They what do you call them? Gabs? What was the term you're using? What's that? Gab smock? Or what was it? Gab smock?
They mollywopped them.
Mollywop. That's it. Mollywop them.
Yeah.
38-7. We'll see if they're going to make it in regardless of what happens in the ACC championship. And then Vandy did win on the road to Tennessee. I don't know if that's enough to get them in, but 45-24, big win with them. They would have to get some luck perhaps to get in there, but they may miss the playoffs with some other good teams.
Still good season, though.
Oh, no. Amazing season. Best season they've had in ever, probably.
And I think they have the highest ranked recruiting class going into next year for the SEC. So just think about that. That's crazy. That's Vanderbilt.
Tough to do.
Vanderbilt is leading the SEC in recruiting.
How do they get them all into college?
I'm assuming it's because they're actually they're supposed to be the Brainiac school of the South.
Yeah.
Like it's one of the more prestigious universities. But I couldn't tell you.
That's right. Okay, so here's the rankings going into this weekend. I don't know, like as you mentioned, the committee maybe playing some games, but Ohio State's still up there, Indiana, then Georgia, Texas Tech is 4 now, Oregon, Ole Miss, A&M dropped to 7, Oklahoma's up there, Alabama, then here's your talk about Notre Dame, BYU, Miami. That's where it all gets squishy, and then Texas and Vandy. But the group of 5, somebody's going to get in there, so they're going to bump somebody out of the top 12 anyway, right? So that's the issue.
Yeah. I think Notre Dame is in trouble.
Yeah,
I really do. I think Notre Dame is in a very peculiar situation. Because if BYU loses, it's going to bump Miami up a spot, and that literally puts Miami and Notre Dame right next to each other. And if they put Notre Dame in over Miami, even though Miami has the head-to-head win, I think that'll be the last thing that the committee will ever do, and they will literally get rid of it regardless of what money is where, because it's just the precedent you would set is insane.
Right. Well, bottom line is if we'll talk through these games, if BYU wins and if Alabama wins, right, even though maybe that shouldn't change whatever, like Alabama losing badly, they could fall out in theory, right? That just kind of puts them in a bad situation. Notre Dame's not playing. Obviously BYU's only lost 1 game. They would beat Texas Tech. I don't know. So
yeah.
The first game tonight of relevance is the AAC title. That's North Texas at Tulane. It's actually at Tulane. 2.5-point favorites for North Texas on the road, 66.5-point total. That's tonight at 7 p.m. The winner gets the playoff game, right? Is that how it works? Would Tulane still get in?
Yeah, one of those two will get in. The winner of this game will go to the playoff, yeah.
Gotcha. So that's good. That'll be the 12th seed and probably get stomped. But I like that they're in. North Texas makes it interesting, scores a bunch of points.
Yeah.
Looks like you like something in this game.
Yeah. You want me to tell you? I was going to say, you want me to tell you what I like? Oh, I like the over in this game. Fireworks on a Friday night. I just feel like it's 66.5, nowhere near enough. You could probably tease this up to 70 or 80, in my opinion.
I love it. Friday night action. That's what we're talking about.
Right.
Then on Saturday, it starts off Big 12 championship. This is in Jerry's World in Arlington, and it's BYU versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech is a 12.5-point favorite, 49.5-point total. They did, mollywop them last time.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll do it again? And my question is, if BYU wins, does Texas Tech still make the playoff?
Yeah, I think they will. Okay. I think 100%. I like the under in this game, though. That's the one thing I do like. I like the under. I think this is going to be a defensive battle. I don't know if BYU has the talent or the bodies to hang with Texas Tech.
Right.
But I guess the first game was like 35-7, I think, give or take, or something along those lines. So I just like the under in this game. I don't think Texas Tech will score as much, but I do think they will win the game.
Yeah, well, the young QB from BYU can come through this time. You've seen this.
Bear Bachmeier, yeah.
Maybe he can do something. Make something. Do you still like Tech in this one, or you just?
Yeah, I think Texas Tech wins, but I mean, I guess you would play the value. If I'm going to play the under, I might as well play the points too. But yeah. I feel much better about the under than I do about covering the spread.
Gotcha. All right, George. This is the SEC championship. That last one was at 11 a.m. That's the early one, right? 11 a.m.
Yeah.
SEC is at 3 p.m. That's Georgia against Alabama. This is in the Mercedes-Benz Dome, Georgia. Winner gets the bye, basically playing for the bye, essentially. But if Bama loses, they just got to keep it close. They can't just get hammered, right?
I think regardless, they're in.
Even with three losses.
Yeah, because the committee has already set a precedence. If you make your conference championship game, that they're not going to bounce you out. Okay. So yeah, and they cannot not have Alabama in. You know how much money they would lose if they didn't put Alabama in. You know what I mean? Just from a viewership standpoint. So yeah, no, I think both these teams are in. I think to your point, the winner of it will get the bye, and then we'll go from there.
All right, Big Ten championship down in Indy Lucas Oil Arena. This is Indiana against Ohio State, 1 versus 2. Another 3 p.m. All at the same time. That kind of sucks. But
no, this one's at night. This one's a 7:00 game. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The ACC and the Big Ten are playing their championship game at the same time. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Nobody's going to watch the ACC anyway. So obviously, winner gets the bye. I would assume the loser drops out of the byes, right?
No.
I mean, no. You think it's going to stay right there?
Yeah. Do you know why? This is my theory. Is because if you look at Oregon, I think Oregon is the buffer because Indiana beat Oregon, so there's no way they're going to drop them below them. So I think the committee did it on purpose to where literally who wins this game is going to be number 1, and who loses this game is probably going to be 4.
So even if you think Alabama beats Georgia, Georgia wouldn't be the 4 seed or the 3 seed. They would drop out, and then Indiana loses. What if they lose by 40? I
don't think it matters.
Okay. Well, Ohio State's a 4-point favorite in this, 47.5-point total. You like Ohio State? I think I do too.
The only thing that does worry me a little bit is I don't want to say it's a little bit of a meaningless game just because the Buckeyes, obviously, they haven't won a Big Ten championship since 2020, since the COVID year. That's the last time the Buckeyes have won the Big Ten. So nobody on this Ohio State team has won a Big Ten championship game, but they're already number 1. They're playing for the playoff, and this is the biggest game in Indiana Hoosiers football history. That's the only thing that scares me a little bit. They finally beat Michigan. They might have maybe a little bit of a letdown just because it's whatever, we're playing for the playoff. We'll get a bye, all this other stuff. But I think they're on a mission. I'm gonna keep my foot with Ohio State, and I think scoring more than 17 points on this team is going to be a real pain in the ass. So I think
they're going to be able to run the ball against Ohio State, and that's their kind of bread and butter to set up Mendoza. But we'll see. I mean, look, Signetti's, he's had a year to get this team prime because they kind of weren't ready for prime time as much last year, the playoffs, I guess, and now they got to do it. Even if they lose the game, let's put up a really good game so it's a good fight to just put a hint of doubt that they could beat them in a title game.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And the last one's ACC. This is, as you said, 7:00. Duke versus Virginia. 4-point favorites for Virginia, 57.5-point total. I asked if this doesn't even matter, but apparently, so walk me through this. If Virginia wins, they're in the playoff.
They'll get in. Yeah.
If Duke wins, they're not going to get in the playoff?
I think if Duke, the way it's looking right now, if Duke wins, then nobody from the ACC is going to get in, depending on what situations happen. But I still think Miami belongs in the playoff. That's just me. Not that I have a future on them or anything, but I think they definitely belong in the playoff.
I agree with you, but then in theory, you get Virginia in and Miami. So that's what you're saying Notre Dame's going to fall out.
Well, that's why I was saying I think one or the other needs to happen. I don't even know if we're going to get to – I don't think we get two ACC teams. I don't think that's going to happen. So I almost think Miami does need Duke to win.
Okay.
And then Miami would bump up a spot. Notre Dame would fall out. And then, bingo, bongo, here we go. So it's a mess. It's a giant mess.
If you're going dogs and you're saying BYU's going to win, and I guess you're saying Alabama doesn't matter whether they win or lose. So they're going to stay in. So BYU wins, they take a spot. Virginia wins, they take a spot, right? So, it's going to be interesting. I mean, it's fascinating. We'll go run through your picks on the weekend.
Yeah, the 4 that I like this week, I'm taking OSU minus the 4 against Indiana. I'm taking the Tulane and North Texas over 66.5. I'm taking the Texas Tech BYU under at 49.5, and I'm taking the Dogs minus 2.5 to avenge their loss previously to Alabama. Even though historically Alabama has kind of owned Kirby Smart, I think the Dogs will bark this week. Maybe they were saving it for Alabama the previous week, and that's why they stunk against Georgia Tech. I have no idea.
Right. One thing I did hear, with the Bear is Chris Felica.
Oh yeah.
He did say if you bet on Miami to make the playoff, I think it's like 4-1 or something like that. So it's actually better to bet on that than to bet on Duke money line or something like that. If you're,
interesting.
All right. Well, let's talk about the NFL. Last week, week 13, we talked about a lot of things already, but all I said is all dogs go to heaven again. 10-6 this week. I mean, after Thanksgiving, it wasn't over. There were other upsets there.
Friday.
The last 2 weeks, it's 19-10-1 for the dogs. I mean, you just be printing money. But you know what that really means? It means the books are killing us. Like, not that I was all favorites, but most people do. And then the under is 9-7. So no under continued into the weekend. We'll see if that continues in December. We talked a little bit about Thanksgiving, I guess, with Joe. We'll go over that. But the Pack, they played great against Detroit. I mean, Detroit looked undermanned. They lost Amon-Ra St. Brown early in that game. It did show. They don't have Laporta. But the Packers' offense played great. I mean, they looked like what we thought they would be all season. They haven't done that much. They went 31-24. I don't know. We'll see what they can do against the Bears.
Yeah, no, I think they play up to the level of their competition. I think that, that's kind of what they've done all season, too. Like, they'll have 3-game stretch where they look great, and they'll shit the bed for 2 games, and then they look great for 3 games, and they look bad for another 2 games. Yeah, so we'll see. Right. We'll see what happens.
And then the Cowboys, which, of course, they roll the Raiders, then they come into this game. They're getting beat by the Chiefs, come back, win this game, 31-28. It was kind of a good old-fashioned shootout. I mean, it was really fun to watch. Not whoever had the ball last, but it was like Mahomes, Dak played great on both sides, but the Cowboys outlasted them. Of course, we'll talk about how they played last night. So a fun game. And then obviously you talked about Burrow taking care of business, winning 32-14 against the Bengals, who a lot of people are like, hey, I'm going to go away from the Eagles and play the Bengals or play the Ravens. And that didn't work out either. So on Sunday we had the Texans, my squad, CJ Stroud, he's back. He didn't play fantastic. At times I was going to start texting you. I'm like, is it Davis Mills time? I mean, the thing about CJ is he takes shots, which is great, but it doesn't seem like he does the pre-read as fast as Mills, because Mills at least gets the ball to where it's supposed to go right away. Stroud holds the ball a little bit, but it doesn't matter. The goddamn defense is so good. They held Indy to 281 yards of total offense, and they won the game 20-16. It was an ugly one, but they won an outright win.
Yeah, no, it was, like you said, just that defense, and plus he's still coming off concussion, so you could definitely tell he was starting to knock off the rust a little bit there in the second half. He was definitely getting rid of the ball faster in the second half than what he was in the first. It was very noticeable.
Right,
so
that's true. 49ers, they weathered the storm literally against the Browns. They do get the win 26-8. I mean, early it looked kind of like a game, but
at halftime,
yeah, then the flip. It was 10-8 at halftime or something like that.
Yeah.
And this was the other big upset. Panthers shocked the Rams. I mean, The Rams are the greatest. The Rams are the greatest. Except you can't beat the Panthers when you count them out. The Panthers went outright 31-28. And it was just one of those games. Like, I mean, both teams, well, they did get turnovers. This is the first game that you really saw Stafford turn the ball over, a couple bad picks, fumble. So the Rams are vulnerable like everybody else.
Well, for that day they were.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I know your Super Bowl ticket. Actually, I jinxed it. I bought a Super Bowl ticket on them before.
Oh, no. Why'd you stay away from them?
Hey, Stafford.
Pick anybody else, literally.
And then the Bills pummel the Steelers. Well, it was the Steelers 7-3 at halftime, looking pretty good. But that first, what was the first play? It was definitely the first drive of the second half.
I think it was the second play, yeah.
When Rodgers just got pounded by Joey Bosa to the ground, and then when he comes on the field, his nose is all bloody. Like the old school NFL films, it was over after that. They scored a touchdown, and then it was like they just ran the ball over. 26-7 final score.
Yeah. Just ugly game.
Yeah.
They were booing Mike Tomlin. Like the boos traveled from Philly all the way down to Pittsburgh. That was incredible.
Yeah. Like, is Tomlin going to be gone? I'm like, well, I mean, he probably should have been gone a while ago, but, he keeps winning these middle games. But
yeah, I love the idea of him going to Penn State, by the way, because it was like, could you imagine the irony of that? Of like Penn State firing James Franklin, but yet hiring Mike Tomlin, who is literally the guy who will get you that close to being good and then just can't win the big one, just like James Franklin. So it'd be like, what is going on?
Yeah. I mean, career record, he's probably over 500, but I mean, like, he's not like he's 150 games over 500.
Right.
All right. We've got 49ers, Giants, Panthers, Patriots on bye this week. We talked about a little bit about the Lions last night. I don't know. I didn't get to watch the game much. I looked up and the Lions are up like 27-9. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, I told my buddies, like, different states and whatever, you have to have different accounts or whatever. I'm like, bet the Cowboys, they're 14-1 to come back. And they did. It was like 30-27 or something like that. They just couldn't stop the Lions last night. And, this whole vaunted defense that started Amon-Ra St. Brown, he didn't look very hurt. He got an hour before game time and played great. And they win the game. Detroit wins the game 44-30 and covered the 3, went over 55.5, just kept scoring.
Yeah, 6 catches, 92 yards. I mean, he was killing it. His run blocking was very noticeable as well. And yeah, they could not get one stop, Wegsy. They could not get one, the Cowboys defense. And it's tough. Their season's basically dead.
Your guy Gibbs did it again, and he's maybe a little late for offensive player of the year, but you know what? If you close and you're scoring like 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor's leaving the door open. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as Jackson Smith and Jigba are both leaving the door open for that. Yeah.
That's right.
That might be a good sneaky little sprinkle right now, honestly.
Sprinky?
Yeah. Sprinkle it in there. I don't know what kind of number you'd get, but I mean, he's going to get opportunities. They're 8-5. They're literally the first team out of the playoffs right now. I'm pretty sure they're the 8th seed, which I think they could catch San Fran. I think that's the team that they would have to catch because I don't think they're going to win the division regardless if it's the Packers or the Bears. Yeah.
It's hard for them to win the division, but let's just see. All right, offensive player of the year. He's plus 900.
Yeah.
Do I give him the Wegs jinx?
He had 7 receptions last night as well. So he caught 7 passes for 77 yards, including the 12 rushes for 43 yards, the 3 touchdowns. Dave Montgomery looked pretty good too. And
McCaffrey, Taylor and Jib are minus 110 each. So values on Gibbs.
It is not a bad play.
All right, for Sunday, we've got there are the buys. We've got a pretty full slate. So we'll start with Seahawks at Falcons. Seahawks are a 7-point favorite on the road, 44.5-point total. These games are all at noon. I mean, I like the Seahawks. I know that they played a terrible team in the Vikes there last week with Brosmer, but Kirk Cousins, and it worked out. The Jets, they took him out last week. I don't know. My only fear is a big number, and I don't love how Sam Darnold's playing right now, but that number moved from 8 to 7. I'm like, you're speaking my language, so I love that. I love the Seahawks on the road.
No, 100%. And the Seahawks are amazing on the road this season. They're great in the Eastern time zone too. Like there used to be that old adage, team going west, early kickoff. That is not a thing with this Seattle team.
No.
They just show up and punch in the face. And I just no Drake London either for the Falcons, which I think is huge. I think he didn't practice. He's got a knee problem. I don't think he's going to play. Which means that they're just going to keen on Bijan Robinson. He's going to get destroyed probably. And I like Seattle here. Yeah. I don't know if the Falcons believe in Raheem Morris anymore. I don't know if they're playing for his job, basically. I have no idea. I'd be willing to maybe put a hunch on it if they are, but yeah, I love the Seahawks here.
Nice. Dead man walking, maybe. Maybe they think he's on the outs. Here's your squad. The Finns going to the Jets. Jets are 3-point favorite or 3-point dogs at home, 40.5-point total. You know where I'm going. I'm Jets, baby. Jets again. Can they win again? Can we get the Miami jinx in the cold? It's not that cold. It's not going to be like Chicago, but it's going to be like 30 degrees.
Yeah, it's going to be I think below 40s, yeah.
Your guy, Achan's the only fly in this ointment because I know he can run all day. But the Jets got the win last week. I just think they're more professional. And I like Justin Fields. If you're listening, I know you're listening. I think you're a good guy. But this team plays better for Taylor. I don't know why, but they do. So I'm Jets plus 3.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right play. The only thing that if you're looking at it from a Miami standpoint, they do run the screen game quite a bit. The Jets are actually the worst defense in the league when it comes to defending screens. That might be something to pay attention to. Also, Tyrod Taylor in his career with the Jets, he is 68% against the spread.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, something you want to probably pay attention to. He just covers. He covers all the time. And to your point, I mean, the Dolphins give up the highest completion percentage to the opposing quarterback in the league. So he's going to complete passes to whoever he wants to because that's kind of how the Dolphins play defense. And I'm with you. I think the Jets are the side. I stayed away from this number because the Dolphins need this win if they're going to have any resemblance of making any kind of noise. And I think their schedule gets much more difficult after this game. So,
they probably should win, but they won't.
And Tua was awful last week against the Saints. That game should have been a blowout. That should have been the easiest cover that we had all year, and Tua just found a way to piss that game away, and it's incredible to me. It really is.
The back door was open. It's still open there. All right, here we go. Steelers and Ravens, sort of the battle for the AFC North, even though you mentioned the Bengals there. 5.5-point favorites for the Ravens, 42.5-point total. I don't think Lamar practiced yesterday. So doesn't mean he won't play, but
he is good to go. I think it was brought out a couple hours ago that he was going to be good to go. Yeah,
but we know he's not healthy. So look, on paper, Steelers. This is too many points, but I can't trust the Steeler team. This defense is not that good, and Rodgers is going to play apparently.
Yeah,
beaten
his birthday was on Tuesday. By the way, he had They had a players only film session at his house on Tuesday, according to Twitter. Yeah,
sounds like a really fun time.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were watching like old film from like 2012 or something. Like
I don't know what they. Well, he said in the post game that the only way after the Bills lost, the way they got to get better is to have guys running the right routes when he makes checks and stuff like that. So. Yeah, I'm with you. I would take Baltimore. I would lay the points, even though historically speaking, this game goes to the underdog almost every time. I think it was it was like 26-8 out of the last 32 matchups or something like that. That the underdog, if it's gets the push or gets the win in this between the spread. So, but I just think this has got to be Baltimore, especially after what happened last week. I don't think Lamar's going to turn the ball over the way he did against the Bengals, and they'll find a way to eke it out. Yeah.
Okay. Stay away from me at this moment, even though it was on my card. Colts at the Jags. 1.5-point favorites for the Colts on the road, 46.5-point total. When's the last time the Colts won in Jacksonville? Do you know this?
2014. Yeah.
Yes.
It's been 10 years.
Is this the year? I mean, I think the Jags are going to win this game. I don't love the Jags. I told you that they confound me because they're playing really good and they confound me. They actually beat the hell out of the Tennessee Titans last week, which is a little surprise for me. But I don't know. I think the Colts, they can certainly win this football game, but I like that the Jags are at home dogs in the division, and they won this game traditionally. So I go with the Jags on this one.
Yeah, if Jacksonville wouldn't have blown that game against Houston and Davis Mills, they'd be on a 5-game win streak right now. You can't find two teams that are going in more opposite directions, by the way. Like the Colts have lost, 2 in a row or 3 in a row? And the Jags are going, like if they were stocks, it'd be a complete inverse, which is funny. The one reason I think the Colts are going to lose out, and I think the biggest reason why is because Daniel Jones literally has a broken leg or whatever he's dealing with. Yeah, and when you take away his mobility and make him strictly a pocket passer, he turns back into the Daniel Jones that we all thought he was. And also, the Jags have the number 1 rush defense in the league right now, only giving up 82 yards a game. So I anticipate them shutting Taylor down. I think if you make the Colts one-dimensional, you've seen it the past couple of weeks to where they, if Jonathan Taylor's not carrying this offense, that they become very lackluster, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, and Jones he made a couple of good throws last week. I mean, there were actually a great catch and throw to Downs on the sideline. Downs had one series where he made 3 big third down catches, but the bottom line is I just think the defense isn't that great for the Colts. And if they're not controlling the clock like they did before early in the season, they're really vulnerable. So it's really more, can Lawrence not turn the ball over? That's the only thing. You're like, Wegs, Lawrence, he likes to throw the ball away. Well, to your point, they win 5 in a row if he wouldn't have done that against Texans.
Yeah. And Sauce Gardner is not going to play either.
That's true. I saw that. But the Jags, dude, they're leading the division. This is their chance to win this division, even though it's kind of like as good as Houston's playing. I don't think Houston can catch them, basically, if they win this game. The Jags win this game. So,
and I think these two teams, or these two coaches, by the way, I think are 3rd and 4th or 4th and 5th in Coach of the Year rankings too. So I think if whichever of these teams sweeps the other, if they can get a sweep, I think goes a long way toward that Coach of the Year profile, which obviously Mike Vrabel's running away with, or even Mike McDonald. Ben Johnson. Yeah, those 3 guys. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm with you. I like the Jags here. I didn't put it in my top 5 because you already had it. So that's why I try to pick different from you.
You can pick the same games. It's fine.
Nah, that's no fun. That's not fun.
You've been picking against me all year and you've been winning. So all right. Titans at Browns. Browns are 4.5 point favorites in the contest. That's why I put it out there. It's 4 in the market right now. 33.5 point total. Brutal. I see you like the Browns. Do you know Shedeur Sanders is starting for this team, right?
He is. That is correct.
Okay. I'm not saying you're wrong 100%. We know Cleveland's defense is amazing. Somebody's going to look up and say Shedeur Sanders is laying 4.5 points in a game, and it's the obvious to take Titans in a objective world. But tell me why you think the Browns. It's the defense and the running game.
Yeah, I think they'll shield him from that. Also, I just think Myles Garrett might break the sack record this game. I think Cam Ward is the most sacked quarterback this year in the NFL. The only 2 quarterbacks that have been hit as much as Cam Ward are Cam Ward and Justin Herbert. So and you're going to go to cold weather Cleveland, where last week the wind was doing 30 miles an hour on the lake. It was affecting everything in the game. I don't anticipate the weather being quite that bad, but it's not going to be much better, if that makes sense. Yeah. They'll run the ball. I think Judkins will have his mark. This line to me, I think I told you this, it feels like Vegas wants you to take Cleveland, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to do what they want me to do.
They're like, hey, here you go.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, exactly. We know something that you don't, take this line. And I'm all right, fine. I'll take it. Give me it. I'll take it.
Yeah. It's like the field betting field bet. There's so many numbers there. It's easy. You're going to win.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, I'm staying away. I don't know what Action's thoughts.
Cleveland's on a 2-game winning streak in this series, by the way. Last time they played was 2023, and Cleveland won 27-3. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go with another humdinger. Commanders at the Vikings. Very weird game here. Early in the week, and I had to double check my numbers. Commanders were favored in this game. And now they are dogs in this game. Vikings are the favorites by 2.5 at home, 43.5 point total. It's a tough one. Do we know who's starting? Is it JJ or Brown?
Yes. Well, I thought you were talking about the other. Jaden Daniels is going to play in this game.
Right. But that's why I don't understand the move on.
You're probably going to get JJ McCarthy. You're not going to get Mac Brosmer.
So why has why were the Commanders favored early in the week? Now Daniels is starting, and then why did it do that?
I don't know. I think maybe they were anticipating Jaden Daniels coming back and playing, and then they weren't sure yet, and I don't know. But I love Washington this week. It's my favorite bet of the week. It is 110% my favorite bet of the week. I love Washington.
And look, I'm not saying you're wrong. They played really good last week. They should have beat the Broncos when they played them. Was that Monday night, I guess? It's just Vikings defense is played as good as they could with a terrible offense. They played decent against Seattle. I think they're going to play decent in this game. J.J. McCarthy sucks. That's the only thing is I can't lay points. So I'm just confused by this line. I had to check it 3 times. I'm going to check it one more time. Like, I don't understand with all those factors why Circa would take this stance that you've got the Vikings.
It's a rat. I smell a rat.
It's a rat. 2.5 point favorites with Daniels coming back, which lines came out yesterday. There was word that Daniels coming back. So I'm like, something's wrong here. So like in our contest, I know everybody's going to take the Commanders. That's what that means to me is I'm staying away from it. So I know that your handicap is right. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's weird.
Yeah, it's a rat line, but I love it. I love a good rat line. I'm taking the Commanders. I'm going to feel good about it. They have not won since they were 3-2. They've lost 6 straight games, I think. Yeah, so they are due for a win. They're literally doing what's crazy is I don't know if you've noticed this or not, but literally whoever loses the Bears Commanders game literally just goes on a tankathon the rest of the season. It happened to the Bears last season. It's literally happening to the Commanders this year. So I just think that they are destined to win a game. I think this is the game they're going to win, and I feel really good about that.
Did you see who is kicking for the Commanders now?
I did. It's Jake Moody.
Jake Moody. He's the one who beat him with the Bears. The Bears beat him.
Yeah, that's right.
Jake Moody. Anyway, all right. Well, let's go to the next one. I know you like Commanders quite a bit there. So Saints at Bucks. Bucks are 8.5 point favorites, 41.5 point total. You know, this is the Saints kind of stink, but they did cover against the Finns. Division on the road. The Saints are bad. Bucks are good, but the Bucks, can they cover numbers? Not sure. What do you want me to say? It's a stay away. This is a great tease game. I would tease it down to 2.5 for the Bucks. Then you can sleep like a baby. But the Saints aren't going to win this football game. They're actually my survivor pick in the lead pipe lock pick. And if you're still alive in survivor, I'd take the Bucks in a heartbeat. But I don't know. It's just weird. It's a pretty big line.
Yeah, you got because I'm looking at 9 right now. Do you still have it at 8?
This is what the contest line is.
Okay,
this is what the official Circa contest line is. Yeah,
gotcha. So I love either way. I think I love Tampa here. I watched every snap of that Dolphins Saints game last week. Again, the Dolphins should have won that game going away. 14, 17, 21 points, if not more. Like it was literally like the fact that they were not up by more at halftime was literally a crime against humanity. Honestly. And I think the Saints are done. I think they're obviously in full tank mode. And the Bucks have got to start putting it together. And I think this is
good, right?
I think this is the time where they start going in the right direction. They did play earlier this year, and Tampa won 23-3 in New Orleans, and they got I think a defensive touchdown or maybe 2 defensive touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, that was Shuck's first game. Maybe?
I believe. Let me double check here. I don't think so.
That was a Rattler game.
It was a Rattler game.
Okay.
No, you're right. That was Tyler Shuck's first.
Yeah,
they both played in that game.
I lined up against them in that one. And look, it makes sense to take the Bucks. They're the better football team. 8.5 is that crazy zone where not a lot of teams cover. But I hope they do for you.
Yeah, they had a pick 6 in this game. Tampa did that first time they played. So I like Tampa here. I think Tampa's got to start putting it together. Otherwise, Carolina can be a real threat to them, and that would be very interesting.
They got to keep winning. They won last week, but this was where the Cardinals went. Yeah, the Cardinals got in the back door of that one too, right? That was like 2017, I think was the final score.
Yeah, that was a push. Yeah.
All right, Bengals at Bills. It's the highlight game, I guess, in this window. Bills are 5.5 point favorites at home, 53.5 point total. Look, if you make this by the numbers, like how they performed all season, the Bills should be like a 12 point favorite. But obviously, the Joe Burrow factor, it's like a 5-6 point move on the total on the spread. And I agree with it. I think that they play better. Bosa's out. It's so funny. Bosa has like the play of the year for himself, pulls a hamstring. So is this your upset special of the week?
Oh, I love the Bengals. This is my 401k pick of the week right here. Bengals plus 6, 5.5, 6. Line? You could go money line if you really want to. I wouldn't. I think
but not for your 401k. You don't put your 401k on the money line.
No, I would put your 401k on the points. But like, if you really want to parlay it into that money line, maybe that's a sign. Maybe it's time to parlay it. But yeah, I think Joey Bosa being out is a big deal. I think it's going to give Joe Burrow more time to throw. T. Higgins is back from concussion protocol. He's cleared. He's ready to rock and roll. The only thing, the Bills do have the best pass defense in the league. They get on average 163 yards per game, which is pretty good. But the Bengals have rushed for over 100 yards in the last 3 straight games. So they are starting to get more of that balance back. Samaje Perine has been a factor in the running game. That's obviously the weakness of this Bills team. And I just think with Joe Burrow back, I just think this team believes finally. Like they are like, all right, we got our guy. Let's see what we can do. And
plus 250 money line, dude. That's more than 2-1.
And I think you're getting the better quarterback. I really do. Yeah. And you're getting the better weapons. Like you're getting, I'm telling you right now, I just think Buffalo is in a very, very peculiar spot because they play the Bengals this week. If they lose this week, they go play the Patriots next week off a bye. Like they could be in trouble. Like the AFC East could be locked up. Like the AFC East could be locked up literally next week, and they could be on the outside of the playoffs looking in, depending on what happens, situational wise.
I hear you. No, look, I like your plus 5.5. I also think over is in play. I don't know if this is going to be an under game. 53.5 is a good total. Pretty big.
I don't think it's under game.
No, it's not, right? Yeah, it's over.
Like 30-27, something like that. Yeah,
exactly. It's going to be a fun one. So, strap in. We'll check this out. But yeah, I hear you. I like it.
Dalton Kincaid is limited, which I think is a big deal because Dawson Knox is not. Like we're starting to realize that Dawson Knox is not Dalton Kincaid. So that could be.
I could tell you that firsthand. I swapped him out when I saw that Kincaid was scratched last week, and Dawson Knox got like 2 catches for 20 yards and like a 26-7 win. But
yeah.
And I like the running backs. I like both running backs in this game over the totals. I think Cook's gonna have a big game, and like you said, Chase Brown's been playing pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, 3:00 window. You got Broncos at Raiders. Woohoo! Raiders are 7.5-point dogs at home, 40-point total, really low total. Man, I don't love the Broncos, even though they're gonna win the division for me, hopefully, and cash me some tickets. This team's definitely a pretender. Bo Nix, give me a break. But the Raiders, God, they stink. 7.5, horrible. So I don't know. I haven't decided which side I'm going to go on this one. Probably Raiders or pass, but they're certainly not in my top 5.
Yeah, this was that great 7-10 game they played on Thursday night a couple weeks ago. Did you know that the Raiders lead the series 73-57-2 all time? I had no idea.
Doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, probably they crushed them.
But yeah, I don't like either. I don't like anything about this game. Honestly, there's nothing that excites me. I don't like any of the numbers. Is Max Crosby going to play? I think he was.
I assume so. No.
He was limited this week with a knee injury, at least in practice today. So I think that's something to keep your eye on. If he doesn't play, then I think the Broncos are probably the play.
I mean,
the defense, I don't like anything about it.
Why are they still starting Geno Smith? This guy sucks. Does Pickett can't throw the football, or what about AOC?
I don't know why they're not playing Aiden O'Connell. I have no idea.
I think he's still on the team.
Him and Pete Carroll must be like best friends, Geno Smith and Pete Carroll, because that's the only reason that I can think of.
Yeah, not sure what to say there. Okay, they did not look good against the Chargers last week.
No.
So, Bears at Packers. Well, let's skip. Let's go to the Rams Cardinals first because that game, whatever. Rams Cardinals, 8.5-point favorites for the Rams on the road, 47.5-point total. Is this a bounce back spot? I mean, the Rams obviously are a good football team. The Cardinals can't stop a nosebleed. They did play better defense last week than they have in the last few weeks, but they give up a lot of points. And the Rams should be angry that they lost, and they have to win because Seattle's going to be winning in the early window. So I like the Rams game. I don't know about the spring, but they're definitely going to win the football game.
I completely agree with you. My favorite pick in this game is the under. I like the under 47. That's the only pick that I will be comfortable giving you. I don't like the number of 9, but I do love that under 47.
Okay, simple. Now we'll go back to Bears Packers because this is like the better game, the marquee game of the end of the window. We're going to watch it, Michael's. I don't know if you're probably not going to be around. We're going to go to Michael's and watch it over there. Packers are 6.5 point favorites at home, 44.5 point total. This is a slightly later at 325. Let me ask you this. The Vikings played the Packers 2 weeks ago in Lambeau and were 6.5 point dogs. Okay. The Bears and Vikings, the Bears are better than the Vikings, aren't they? I mean, it's just too many points. I mean, I know that the Pack will probably win this game. I'm even as an objective non-fan, that makes sense. Are they going to crush the Bears and win by 7? I don't know, man. Unless I'm missing something, there's a rat here too. Like, I fully expect like the Pack will come and play, the whole Bears love. Last week they win, they beat the Eagles, blah, blah, blah. The Packers are a solid team, even though they lost the Eagles a couple weeks ago. But 6.5, this is egregious. I don't understand why they're this many points favored.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, Roma Dunze has been ruled out. He's not going to play in this game, which the way they've been playing offense really hasn't. He shouldn't factor in too much, especially with the weather too. They're going to run the ball a lot. Yeah, I think that Dunze being out is just going to play into that. Noah Sewell and TJ Edwards are back, which should really help that Bears defense. So they should have a full complementary of that. I'm with you. I think the number is too big. I don't know. I guess I told myself I was going to fully start to buy in if they beat the Eagles, and they beat the Eagles, and yet here I am still not all the way buying in. I don't know if it's just because I want to protect myself from being hurt from the Bears, or if I don't know. I don't know. I guess I would take that number. I'm going to sweat it. I already know I'm going to sweat it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you're right. It does feel like way too many points. It feels like so way too many. But the Packers are getting healthy though too. That's your guy Jayden Reed is supposed to be back. So we'll see.
It's going to be an interesting game. The Pack. This is huge. It's a huge game for the Pack. It's a bigger game for the Pack than the Bears, even though the Bears are in jeopardy of losing a bunch of games because they're going to play the Pack twice. They're going to play Detroit. They're going to play San Francisco. They get Cleveland next week, which is a little bit of a bye there. But if the Bears win this game, they basically got a stranglehold in the division. So the Pack have to win the game. So I understand that motivation factor. It's weird. I thought after the Eagles game, I thought this would be like 3.5. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of my plays. I mean, I got to go with it. I mean, 6.5 is too many points. So give me the Bears. Sunday Night Football, we got Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs in the contest. All week this game is Chiefs 3.5. All goddamn week. And in the contest, they put it at 3. Now, is it a big difference?
Yeah, it's huge.
According to my points thing, it is. The 3.5 and 4s, those guys actually, the dogs went out a lot. But actually they cover more, which is weird. But I don't know. I love the game at 3.5 for the Texans. I do think the Chiefs, this has got to be the last stand, right? I mean, it's 41.5 point total, really low total. But 3, God damn it. 3.5 was like just screaming to bet the Texans, and that's what I see on my phone. But Circa's they're screwing me at the 3. So it's still in my top 5 to play Houston, but I don't feel as good about it because I think it's like Pushville. I think they can win. Chiefs win by 4. So.
Yeah, this screams Chiefs winning at the gun with a field goal, like Harrison Butker kicking a game-winning field goal.
Right.
I would jump on your bandwagon, especially with the offensive line issues that the Chiefs are having right now. Right. They're going to be out at least one tackle, if not more than that, because they have Jawan Taylor is still up in the air whether he's going to play or not. So they could be down 2 offensive linemen and possibly 3, depending on their situations. Which, if you're facing this Houston defense, which this is like there's like 2 teams that I think that like you don't want to play them, and I think it's Seattle and Texas and Houston. I think those are the 2 teams. It's like you don't want anything to do with these 2 teams.
No,
because you just don't know what you're going to get. So I think you're right. I think Houston is the side, but God, if you're if you're Kansas City, man, this is it. This is the season. Because if they lose again, they can only go 10-7, and that with all the tiebreakers and everything, they're screwed. They are literally going to be screwed. So
the AFC game here, and honestly, if the Texans did pull off the win in this game and the Colts lose, see you later, Colts. They could be done right on DOA now.
I think the Colts are DOA. I'd be willing to go out and say that right now. The Colts are dead. They're not going to make the playoffs.
I already had them out when I did my little project. I'll put them out next week probably. But the Chiefs, it's so hard for me. Like use numbers, figure it out. These teams are very similar in my index, meaning like Chiefs are slightly better. So Patrick Mahomes at home, must win game. Chiefs got to win the game, right? I mean, like that's the theory. So I mean, this is a team that, I'm all Texans all the time, but it's just like last year in the playoff game. I'm like, take the Texans and the points. Take the Texans and the points. I think it was like 4.5, and of course they lose by like 6. Whatever, but should be great viewing, of course, after the Bears game.
Yeah, this should be a good game.
Monday night, we've got Eagles and Chargers. In the contest, it's Eagles 2.5, which I guess is about the market now. That was up to 3 earlier in the week. Herbert's going to play in this one, 41.5 point total. He says he's going to play despite the surgery on his broken left hand, which is tough. Are the Eagles done? Are they going to keep sliding? Now, granted, with the Cowboy loss, it's not like the division's like in sight for the Cowboys. So Eagles still need to win the game, but I can't back them.
I did hear that. I was trying to look to see if it was true or not, that if Jalen Carter was going to play in this game or not.
Okay.
Obviously, Lane Johnson's out. I love the Eagles here. Something about it. Just
you got to win.
I think they have to. But I think getting out of Philly is the best thing that this team could do right now. Honestly, just go across the country, which it's still gonna be 65% Eagles fans when they play this game on Monday night in Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't know. I think this is a bounce back spot for the Eagles. I could honestly see Justin Herbert getting like hit a couple times, and then Harbaugh just pulling the plug. Like, all right, get him out of there. We don't care about this game. This game doesn't help us really,
right?
Because they play the Chiefs. Yeah, because they play the Chiefs next week, so they need Herbert to be healthy to play against the Chiefs. If the Chiefs,
that's why I thought he'd sit. That's why I thought he'd sit in the game.
Yeah. But yeah, I love the Eagles to cover big here. I think this is a 10-point win. I think the Eagles win going away. I think they get back to their ground game a little bit. I probably would take the under in this game, but I would love the Eagles. I love the Eagles to cover here.
Okay, yeah, I don't disagree with you. I think they're going to bounce back, and the Chargers' offensive line has been not great. So, but plays it in. Let's go over your top picks.
All right, so I am 33, 29, and 3 on the season. We're going to go first with Cincinnati plus 5.5. We're going to take Washington plus 2.5, Tampa Bay minus 8.5, Cleveland minus 4.5, and rounding out with Eagles fly. I'm taking Philly minus 2.5 on Monday night.
The Liberty Bell. It's not cracked yet.
Right.
By the way, you're like Mr. Push. You're like the 3, 29, and 3. That's hilarious.
Yeah, they keep following me. Damn it.
I know. I'm up to 29 whole wins on the season, but I've picked like 75 more games, so 29 and 41. I like the Bears plus 6.5. I like the Jags plus 1.5. I like the Jets plus 3, and I like Houston plus 3. All those dogs, and I do like Seattle as my lone favorite this week. I can get on your Cincinnati pick for sure. I don't mind the Eagles either, but these are my top 5.
By the way, you've picked 5 more games than me this season so far.
Yeah,
you've picked 70 games, and I've picked 65. How does that happen?
Well, I was doing some 6s here and there. I couldn't decide on my 5th pick. What are you going to do? You're sticking to the –
and you end up losing both of them.
Usually that helps you out. All right, as I mentioned, the Survivor contest was crazy. It went from 900 to, after the Rams lost, 900 to 45. The implied value, $415,000, dude. Almost $416,000. So sorry, Alan. My buddy Scott is a coworker. I saw him in Philly. He's out of California. He also picked the Eagles and went down with the ship. So some of those contrarian guys came through. There is a guy who I think he has 4 or 5 entries still alive out of the 40.
Wow.
Yeah. He's probably a poker guy. He ended up going with the Bengals on 2 or 3 entries, and then the other 2 or 3, can't remember, it was 3 and 2 on the Bears. So hey, he did it. That's what he got through. He wants to win this thing. That was actually the largest by percent, the largest percentage cut of any given week in the history of the contest. It was like 94% were cut in that stretch. So in the picks contest, leader is 47-18, a little bit of a drop to 72%. Top 100 is 60% right on the nose, which is always the target, 60%. So 39-24. We obviously had a 3 and 2 week, finally, but we're still below 40%. So what are you gonna do? 1 quarter remaining though, 5 weeks to go. We can still win some money. All right, tell me what you're doing this weekend.
Hockey. We're going to the Wolves game tonight. We will do the Chris Kindle Market tomorrow.
Nice.
Out in Aurora. That'll be a good time. And then I'll be traveling up to Rockford to check out. They're doing the teddy bear toss on Saturday night in Rockford. So
what is that?
Pretty pumped to see that. They're doing have you not seen this before? Where like the first goal, like everybody throws a teddy bear on the ice, and they donate the teddy bears, like children's hospitals and all kinds of stuff like that. So, yeah, if you ever get on X, you can like Google teddy bear toss, and there's like teams all over the hockey landscape that do this. So I have never seen one in person, so I was excited to go check this one out, and then Sunday we'll be chilling.
Do you have a teddy bear ready to go?
I do not, but I'll have the camera ready, so I'll be able to like capture all the teddy bears.
Sounds good. Cool. Well, tonight I am supposed to be going ice skating. It's a little cold out there, but may hit the rink, local rink tomorrow. Volleyball. And then some plans in the afternoon. I can't remember exactly what's going on. I have to remember myself. And then watching Michael's and going to Michael's to watch the games on Sunday. I probably won't get there right at noon. We'll see what happens, but we got to get seats well before the Bears game, which starts at 3:25. So to make sure we're supposed to get a couple tables worth. So we're gonna have some people watching the game. Bears Packers. There you go.
That wind chill is gonna be tough too. It's up to 25-mile-an-hour gusts.
Ugh. You don't have to tell me.
You're going ice skating. Wow, that's
you got to do what you got to do, man.
You got a face covering at least,
Yeah, I got a hat. I got a scarf. I'll be okay. I haven't been on the skates this year. Well, I guess technically I was this year in January, but I like to go skating. I used to skate all the time, but I'm lazy and I don't have a car. So we were to the rink,
Yeah, I was gonna say, how are you getting down there? Are you skating down there? We're gonna
go to local rink, Warren Park. Warren Park.
Gotcha.
Not the ribbon. The ribbon is great. You just got to go. You definitely got to do it in advance, and it costs a little more money, which is fine. I don't mind paying. The ribbon is cool. Have you ever skated the ribbon?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really fun. So it'll be on the docket maybe a little later. I just want to stay local since I just got back into town. So.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right. Well, follow us at Side Action Pod on X, Side Action Podcast on Instagram. Follow me at Wegs on X and on Instagram.
Don't do it. Don't you dare forget. And I'm Coop. You can check me on Instagram at Dalton Cooper and on X at Mr. Grumpy Gills. Again, we are the Side Action Podcast. Make sure to like the TikTok page. And other than that, are we good? I think we're good. I think we got it all.
I think we got it. The internet worked. The
the hotspot
package worked. Thanks.
Love you guys.